This is the Wartime Broadcasting Service. This country has been attacked with nuclear weapons. Communications have been severely disrupted, and the number of casualties and the extent of the damage are not yet known.
And now on BBC One, we're joining the Pink Panther.
We shall bring you further information as soon as possible. Stay tuned to this wavelength, stay calm, and stay in your own house.
Is it really true that you're the front line of Britain's defence in the event of nuclear attack?
Yes, I'm the warden for this area.
And what are you supposed to do?
Well, when I hear my bleep bleep, I get out the siren and run up to the green and crank the handle. Excuse me, I've only got 4 minutes.
Mike, it's full!
That's it, Chris. It's war. War has broken out. This is a war.
That's it. Yes, it's war.
Hello, you. Hello. Am I working? It's been a while since I last did a live stream, so things are a little bit complicated in terms of not just the world and what's going on in this crazy universe, but in terms of what's going on in this crazy boat. Because it's been a long time, and I don't even know testing the proper sound levels and stuff. So apologies if this is it focusing? It's focusing. Hello everybody, this is Major Dolby's cat. There are a few people that have asked how I am. Some of those people are on Discord, and some of those people aren't on Discord. Let me take these headphones off because I don't need to monitor the sound of my intro. So the people that aren't on Discord, I am still alive. This is a sporadic pop-up stream, just really no kind of promotion. Just press record, stream, or whatever the button is, and come on to the chat and catch up with a few people that unfortunately have not been able to join Discord. Chat wise, I need to do that little chat bot thing that comes up so I can put the comments underneath a live thing. Give me 1 second. I forgot about that. I remember, what was it called? Can anyone out there remember what that was called? Begins with a T. T? Twidget. There it is. There's Twidget. Give me a second. Start. So you should be here. So you can read the comments basically. Well, when it does work. It wouldn't be a Major Dolby's cat stream if things didn't work. Start. Why wouldn't it allow me to? Okay, now I have to paste this address into it. This address of this stream. Bear with me, everyone. We will make this stream a little bit more accessible for everyone. Once I've got the chat up. Who's that ugly bastard there? Who's that? Oh yeah, it doesn't allow me to. It's a V. There we go. Connect. Okay, here we go. It's loading in the live chat replay. Still says loading. So let's see whether that's worked. I can't see yet. No, that's not quite yet worked. I can see it on my screen. Unless it's hidden down here. No. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Refresh. There we go. It's a refresh. Shilkith says, what is this? Well, that was my intro, Shilkith. Let me make that smaller. Bigger? Smaller. What do you reckon? Hugely over my face. Actually, do you think it'd be better there? Probably be better there, wouldn't it? Let's put it down here. Yes, it was an intro. I didn't want to go into politics too much. I thought I'd make a little bit of a parody intro. Might be things there that you recognise for lovers of classic television and film. Other than that, that was what that was all about. The good old test card says Penguin Overlord. Yes, Penguin Overlord is correct. It was the good old test card. The Rapture. Is the Rapture finally here, says Richard. Make it what you will, Richard. Rapture? Indeed, Richard. That was how I replied. I regret nothing except not getting to screw Kate Blanchett multiple times. She was lovely, wasn't she, Richard? I say was because I look at all of those film stars now in a different light. I can't help but feel that their impact on my life has become more insignificant as the years go forth. Apart from Jan Francis. Very Milligan quote. Tenor on the table here and now says the Major ends the stream with Silent Night sing song from the end of the war game. I'm not going to say anything. I'm still at the very phallic bit at the start. Says it's all phallic, mate. Paul, it's always phallic. Good to have you on board, mate. 2 videos. You should play REM. It's the end of the world as we know it, and Weird Al, Christmas at Ground Zero. As most people know, copyright strikes are evidently everywhere on YouTube, so probably could be a nice little strike. But good choices there, Penguin Overlord. Good choices. Turn the sound up, John. Can hardly hear you. Turn your sound up, John. Can you hear me now? Shit, maybe I should read. Maybe I could just bring that a little bit closer. Trouble is, when I bring it closer, I don't know. And my name's not John, but I'll turn it up just in case just in case people can't hear me. Are you sure you're watching the Major's stream? Says Richard English. How is everyone? How is everyone? Can everybody hear me? Let me just do a sound check because I as soon as my name's not John. Yeah, I can hear myself. There's a little bit of a delay there. Thanks for joining me. It's been 4 months since I last streamed live on YouTube. In that time, lots of things have happened, and nothing's happened. Make that what you will. That's better, says Penguin Overlord. Okay, yeah, I think it's probably. Where's that coming from? Let me mute that. So, could everybody hear me at the start, or was it too low, or was I just inaudible? I haven't monitored the output, you see. So yeah, lots happened and lots hasn't happened. I'm in a marina now. I'm here until the end of March. It's very, very, very quiet. If I came from one marina, which was like a retirement home, I've come to the morgue of marinas. It is dead here. It is dead. So basically, I'm settling in quite nicely. Tumbleweeds blowing around, frozen tumbleweeds at the moment. But I'm settling quite nicely. I wanted to do this stream really in order to highlight a couple of things about what I intend on doing with this platform in the future. I will obviously be still uploading videos and things, which you are enjoying, which is lovely to see that you are enjoying. And numbers continue to grow. Subscriber numbers have got up to, what are they up to? I don't follow my subscriber numbers. They're up to 11.9 thousand people out there that have enjoyed the Major Dolby's Cat content, which is wonderful. However, as I've always said, I've cared less about numbers on this channel than I care more about interaction, and it's wonderful over the last couple of months to see people interacting on my videos, which is it's lovely. I love reading the comments, and I reply to most comments, and I just love reading them, and I just love going through them. So I just wanted to say a big thank you for everyone that's made this channel what it is. It's still very small, really. Nearly 12,000 subscribers, give or take 50. Which this stream won't bring in, I don't think. But I'm just really, really proud of where the channel's going, and I'm really happy to read interactions, which is, at the end of the day, the only thing that I really want with this channel is the interactions. I wanted to also highlight that I am on Discord. It's been a bit quiet of late because, even on Discord, I've been doing boat stuff, and I always knew that this month would be boaty stuff. As soon as I got into the marina at the beginning of the month, I thought the whole month is going to be boat stuff. And it is boat stuff. So that's taken precedent. However, I am still active on Discord every day. You can catch me on there. You can interact with the conversations we have on there with the many people from the YouTube channel that have come over to join me for discussions and things. And I love reading what everyone writes there as well. I'm hoping to grow that. I really am. So if you are able to drop over to the Major Dolby's Cat Discord server, and interact with people, really, post links and stuff. We've got a whole lot of different categories. I was going to show you exactly what we have. In fact, I probably will if I can share the screen in this will be about 10 minutes. I don't want to make this whole stream about Discord, because some people don't like Discord, some people can't use Discord, some people can't get Discord to work, and some people don't like Discord. So I do not want to alienate the possibility of people, of all those people that have been supportive of my channel by waffling on endlessly about Discord. So, but do join if you can and you're able to, because there's a one-to-one thing going on there. In fact, I do live streams over on Discord, and we've had other viewers from this channel drop in with their webcams even. Richard, classic. Richard's been in, and I've caught up with Druss, Old School Fool, some real big names from the days of doing a regular stream on this channel every single Saturday over a period of 6 or 7 months, and it's lovely to be able to see their faces and hear their voices. It's as I said, growing a community is where I want this channel to excel in, really. Because there's no end of discussions that we can all have on our favourite television and films. And there's also a bit of news in there, a bit of satire in there, and a bit of humour as well. So that's Discord. So yes, I just want to say thanks again to everyone for making this channel a success. And it is a success. It's a small success, but I consider it a success anyway. Wanted to talk a little bit about the TV shows that I've uploaded in the past couple of months. And I want to hand it over to you, really. If you found this channel through one of my uploads, tell me now in the chat, tell me which show brought you here, because I'm intrigued. Let's see what some of the other... That's better, says Penguin Overlord. Good on you, Penguin. Thanks, mate. Thanks for bringing up the sound, because I never liked the thought of falling on deaf ears. Isn't that fantastic news that a degenerate is moving to the Cotswold? Are you kidding me, Ray? That's close to me. She's not. You're making that up. She's Satan. Satan's coming to the Cotswolds. Used to call everyone John back in the day. Did I? Did I call everyone John? Hello, John. You all right, John? I know a lot of Johns. Everyone knows a lot of Johns. John is quite a common name, isn't it? Let's face it. John is quite a common name. And you know that thing that when you meet somebody and they tell you their name and then you've forgotten it within a minute, and it's about 10 minutes later, and then you say, what was your name again? You could replace it with, 10 minutes later, you could say, yeah, that's right, John. And, oh, my name's not John. Oh, I don't know where I got that from. And then they tell you their name again. Just makes it a little bit less ruder. So just call everyone John. Good to see you back. Sheriff Brackett. Hello. Sheriff Brackett from the US. How are you, Sheriff? It's been a while. It's been 4 months, actually. I think just under 4 months since I last live streamed on YouTube. Nice to see you back. Sheriff Brackett. I remember the reference is Halloween. Oh, God, Ellen DeGenerate is here. Working my way through the long chase at the moment. John Smith, how are you enjoying the long chase? It's still one of my favourite uploads. Partly because you can probably see a little tiny picture of Jan there. It's a little picture of Jan. See, there's a little picture of Jan, signed by the Jan Francis. Yeah, no, I love the long chase. And there are several other series. I like old television shows for children from the 70s. You might have noticed that, The Hill of the Red Fox being the most recent. If you like the long chase, The Hill of the Red Fox is the same episodic kind of children's serial that they used to do really, really well. Obviously, once you get to the end of the long chase, The Hill of the Red Fox is a classic. Also, The Flower of Gloucester. Flower of Gloucester is a lovely production as well. That's over, I think, 14 episodes. A very slow, methodically, sort of slow-paced children's serial, all set on the canals as well. So if you want to see a bit more of the children's serial, John, those are recommendations. Shouldn't it be Major Dalby? No, I've had this before, Penguin Overlord. I've had it before. It's not a reference to... Who's that from? Major Dalby. Somebody told me it's Dolby. Major Dolby, D-O-L-B-Y. It's a reference to a very small, pivotal character in one episode of Ivor the Engine, where Major Dolby is I think it's not Major Dolby's bird. I can't remember. Mrs. Jones's canary needs to be transported back on the train, And Major Dolby is a character that features twice in 2 episodes of Ivor the Engine. And in one episode, he's only mentioned through his cat, because it's the episode with Major Dolby's cat is trying to eat the canary. Mrs. Jones's canary, I believe. The late night horror episode on Halloween was great. Thanks for that one, Sheriff. That went down really well, and I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's a little bit of a shock, that one, because I hadn't seen it when I sourced it, and I will say this: it caught me off guard and made me very uncomfortable. And very few things do that, apart from some of the classics like that. And I don't want to put the restored version up there. I do own it now. After seeing that, I went and bought the £25 version, which it looks absolutely horrific. It's worth £25 just for the work that they've done. Kaleidoscope, I think it is, just for the work that they've done. And that's why I put the link to the DVD Blu-ray. Just if you liked it, it's worthy of your collection, and it's in a beautiful presentation as well, with loads of information. I will not be uploading that to my channel because I hope they sell more copies of it, because it is wonderful. And to see it the way it was originally broadcast in colour I think somebody said it went out at 7:30 in the evening. That was fantastic. Real gem. You're very welcome, Richard. I'd never seen it before and really enjoyed it. I think a lot of people had never seen it before, including myself. Druss. Hello, Druss. How are you, my friend? I think you can. Yeah, I think it's limited to 5 megabytes, though. 5 megabytes, unless I get an extra service thing, which, in the future, who knows? I'd like to be able to upload movies on there, but who knows? Maybe something that I invest in the new year. Can't remember what it's called. Discord is like Marmite. You like it, or you don't, says Penguin Overlord. Correct, Penguin Overlord. That is very true. You like it, or you don't. I love Marmite sarnies, but bloody hell, Marmite is a weapons-grade laxative. Is it? Is Marmite a laxative? I eat Marmite quite a lot. Hello, John. Got a new motor. Ben Manning. Hello, Ben Manning. How are you, Ben? Been a long time since I said hello to Ben. Good old Ben. Hello, John. Got a new motor. Hello, John. Hello, John. Mark III Tina on the cover. A Mark III Cortina? Ooh, Jan Francis, MILF. She is now... How old is Jan now? She's close to, I think, 76, 77 is Jan. Prime Jan was... we were having this conversation in Discord a while back. Prime Jan. Date. Give us some dates. Prime Jan. Prime Jan. Some people say just good friends. Prime Jan. We can debate on what decade or what particular year where Jan was in her prime, because it's a good 30 years of Prime Jan, to be honest. Ivor the Engine rocked. The Flower of Gloucester is one of my faves. I think it was the first of your uploads I watched. Cheers, Ray. I remember you saying that. Yes, I love the Flower of Gloucester. It's got a wonderful contained element of heritage, tradition, and history that's just reeking of Britishness, and it's something that you will never see ever in the likes of ever again, sadly. Still in mourning. That network went out of business. Still in mourning. What network was that? Oh, Kaleidoscope, John. Oh no, network. Network DVD, network television, network Blu-ray, network, yes. That has freed up a vast amount. If you were to type in some of the network DVDs and Blu-rays that they released over the years into YouTube, you can actually watch them now. I was in trouble in the past for uploading some extra from a network DVD when they were still around, so it's a shame that they have gone out of business, because they did some wonderful restoration work and they did some wonderful archive work and gave you a really good Blu-rays and DVDs. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and it's if you don't want to spend thousands of pounds on a collection, I still buy Blu-rays and DVDs every so often. In fact, I had to get this imported because it was a film. I've decided to buy my top 3 to 5, depending on how flushed I am every December, films that I've seen that year. This is one. That's one of them. That's one of them there. 5 Miles to Midnight. Sophia Loren and Anthony Perkins. Jean-Pierre Almond was the director. Can't get it in the UK. It's what's the brand? Kino Lorber, Kino Lorber. Really good, really good, beautifully shot film showing you Paris in the 1950s. Not Paris in the tourist section. All filmed on location. Absolutely grimy tenement blocks. It blew me away. It blew me away to see this film, and needless to say, I had to get hold of it. Region A, I think this is though, and I've found out that I can't play it on my Blu-ray player, which was slightly annoying. I've made that mistake a couple of times. However, I can play it through my portable Blu-ray player on my PC. So I will stream my PC to my projector, to my screen to be able to see that in big screen. Upload to Internet Archive. I love Internet Archive. There's not much interaction on Internet Archive. I'd love that for that to be a little bit more YouTube-y friendly, a bit more of a community base, hence Discord. Network's back catalogue is now being re-released by a company called Old Gold Media. Is it? So eventually things will get taken off YouTube again. As soon as I get around to like issuing copyrights and things like that. There's very little stuff like that on my channel. Paul says 76 is okay. I've still got Joan Collins on the bucket list. Joan Collins. I've been watching Benidorm. Don't shoot me. I've never watched it. I never watched Benidorm when it was first on, and I thought I'd last a couple of series. I'm on series 9 now. And while it dips considerably from about series 6 onwards, there are still moments in it. And I was really happy to see Joan Collins turns up in Benidorm. Spoiler alert if you haven't seen it. She's brilliant. She is worth the price of admission alone just to see Joan Collins in the latest series of Benidorm. In quality, yes. You'll spend all week on the Kazi. It's like Pickford's. It will move anything. That's the Marmite Penguin, I assume. Network on air. Lauren 2. Can you do a live movie stream on Discord via a Blu-ray player? Oh my God, Ray, are you asking me some really technical questions now? Probably. I think I've got the kit to be able to stream from a Blu-ray. HDMI in. What I would probably have to do would stream it through a projector I have now. I bought myself a Christmas present this year. It's a 4K projector. Cost me a fucking fortune, excuse the language, but it's really nice. It's a portable thing, but it's got the internet built into it, made by LG. So LG's got this thing, this app, and I was thinking I was thinking about something sort of the same, Ray, when I was flicking through the menu settings. Have you ever seen an Italian musical from the 80s called To Die for Tanno or Tanno de Moriari? No, I haven't, Paul. And I always bastardise. I can do French, just about. Can't do Italian. Moriari. No. No, I haven't. But is that what you've been watching, mate? Is it good? It's doing that thing again where it focuses in. That's quite bright, isn't it? Let me turn it down. There we go. It's a little bit more ambient now. There's a little bit more ambient things going on. So yeah, so some people found me from the Flower of Gloucester. Some people found me from the Long Chase. There have been a number of record people viewing in the age group which I never thought I'd reach, and believe it or not, The Hill of the Red Fox seemed to appeal to teenagers. That's an interesting demographic right there. I look at the demographics of each video. I go into the analytics. I mean, Google have got it all that shite if you want it. At the end of the day, I'm intrigued. So I I went in and saw the age ranges and blah, blah, blah of the videos and things like that. And funny enough, the one audience that I find the hardest that I can reach out to are the 18 to 30s. But they seem to have lapped up that series. There are some comments, there's a couple of comments even in the comments section of those videos where they mention, I'm only 16 and I love this. Why don't they make television like this anymore? And I thought, that's a really strange... Don't normally get that age group. I mean, obviously they could be lying. They could, you know, that 16-year-old boy, girl, or whoever it was, could actually be a 69-year-old, you know, truck driver. Who knows? But either way, the statistics in the analytics of each upload, I'm in there quite a lot, and I'm trying to broaden to get people in to just witness the quality that we used to have as opposed to the shite that we have today. So... because the older people know that it's shite that we have today. They don't need to be reminded of the past because they lived it and they experienced it. Whereas some of these people coming up are so blinkered or have a life of a childhood, or their youth is kind of very here and now, or very very much in looking at the future, progressive. And they, you know, you can reach some. At a very important age, you can reach someone and enlighten them, I think, with stories of the past, told through drama and television and cinema, and they're appreciative. They really are open to it. Whereas the ones that aren't will never be open to it. So I'm not expecting to reach them because they can carry on watching their Jaguar adverts and all the rest of that old shite that they watch. So yeah, it's nice to not alienate everyone. John, where are we? John says, there's, move that back up here a bit. There we go, John. There's episode 1 of a very early 1970s BBC Kids show, Man Dog, on another channel. Would like to see the rest. I will look into that, John. I will look into that. I don't know it. Don't know the series. I do every so often go through various YouTube channels to see what others are posting, whether they've continued to post the same things. So I do that. I do that. But I will definitely check that out, John. Met Joan Collins at the theatre I used to work. When she didn't want to be recognised, she'd take off her makeup and wander around in a fleece and a pair of old jeans. She still looked quite fit, didn't she, Richard? I couldn't believe how old she was when she turns up in Benidorm. How old she was. She was something like 80. Oh, this is going to sound really wrong, but she's still got it. She's still got it. And she was like 88, something like that in Benidorm. I know there's a lot of cosmetics, but I mean, whoever does Joan Collins' cosmetics, they do a wonderful job, because it doesn't, you know, it's not Botox, and it's not that scene of the you know, in RoboCop when the guy gets the acid thrown over him and he's like melting. It's not like, you know, modern day Hollywood sort of Botox. It's done really well. She's a bit of a work of art, is old Joan, isn't she? Bit of an institution, a bit of a work of art. I've only seen clips on YouTube and tried to buy the DVD from eBay, but it was a blank face. Blank face. I'm not going to read that out because of the algorithm, Richard. I'm 5, plus it would put people off, especially when it comes out of my mouth. I'm 58. Yes, today's stuff is shite. Thank you, Penguin. With old stuff, you have to take them warts and all. Warts and all. Yes, but while they may not be perfect in certain things, they make up for it in an abundance in others. Your periodical reminder to see if you can get your hands on the Tinderbox. I remember. Is that where it's come from, you, Paul? That's come up a number of times. That's written in my book somewhere. I've not. Let me just tell you what I'm going to do. I will just write that down so as I don't forget. Just type that into my never-ending list of possible future presentations. No. Done, Paul. Done. Sausages, sausages, get your lovely sausages. Hello, old school fool. How are you, mate? How fancy seeing you here on YouTube, on Tube, on the YouTube, YouTube. Fancy seeing you on the YouTube. I just watched an episode of Tales of the Unexpected Neck with Joan Collins. Good old Joan Collins. Tales of the Unexpected. I love that show. Some people in here they take the piss out of that, but some people are wrong. No, not mentioning any names. He's got a point though. There's somebody in here who basically says it's the Tales of the Bloody. What's it? Tales of the Bloody Obvious. Tales of the Bloody Obvious is what he says, Sheriff Brackett. Take it up with him, not me. Some of them are. Some I will agree with him on one thing. That some of them are. My top 2 series: Beiderbecke trilogy, Due South. Due South. Guys, there's a series I haven't been back to since I was a teenager. I used to love it. I did used to love it. Who was that actor in that? It was pretty cool. Due South, yes. A Beiderbecke trilogy. Beiderbecke trilogy is James Bolam. Am I right? I think of James Bolam's in it. I never watched it. I never watched the Beiderbecke tapes and all of those things. They were a little bit more adult than when I was growing up. They seemed to be a little bit above my pay station. Pay station? Is that the right word? Pay station. I think James Bolam's in that. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, there's some great shows that people often talk about in Discord. There's some great shows in there. Let me just I don't want to give too much away in terms of people and their conversations that we're having in Discord. I'm sure the people here don't mind if I was to screen share Discord, just to give you an idea of the topics that we talk about. There we are. The first thing that comes up is typical American assholes. Oh, now we've got Sheriff Brackett in here now, Richard. So we can't say things like no. We're not talking about like most things. We're talking about governments when we say assholes, American assholes. We talk about the governments. Governments of every country have assholes. They're all assholes. General. Okay, let's go into general. What have we got here? So I've posted some. Hello, what's that? Somebody's posted something. There's loads of things in it. Let me just go up here. So let's go to the stream. Let's see whether this works straight away. It probably doesn't. YouTube share. No, of course it's not going to work, is it? Of course it's not going to work. Well, it might do if I put the video in here. Sorry about this. It's what I really wanted to. Webcam overlay. YouTube video capture. Oh, I'm not going to do it. It's probably it'll screw everything up. I haven't set up OBS for a while because I've been using Discord. It's all set up for something, probably not for screen sharing. So, how can I do it? Oh, I could do. No, forget it. Just come over to Discord. Just have conversations. I can read you a few quick conversations. What have we been talking about? Well, actually, we've got Video Diva, who a lovely lady comes in. She's been talking about her love of children's TV shows. Although I was quite shocked, Video Diva, if you're watching this back, because I know you said you're going to join us a bit later, but if you're watching this back, I'm still shocked that you never watched the Fuzzy Felt Moomins. I thought that was essential children's viewing. I put a reference to the Hattie Fatners into a Discord response, and she hadn't heard of the Hattie Fatners. But then she did post a picture of Fuzzy Felt Hospital. It is literally a nostalgia-driven Discord sometimes, including a picture of Richard's also mentioned that a rumor has that Elon Musk did his work experience here, and he put a picture of Bertha. It's really hard to describe the kind of humour in a descriptive way like that than just seeing it, but it was very funny. It was very funny, Richard. Bertha. But yes, I won't go on about Discord. I won't go on about it. Just come over, because people are interacting and we are enjoying the interactions. Tales of the Bleeding Obvious, that's what Richard calls them. Sheriff Brackett, apologies for Richard pissing on your parade there, but I do love Tales of the Unexpected. The Flypaper. If it only had one episode, The Flypaper. Just one episode. That wasn't, Richard, Tales of the Bleeding Obvious. If you've never seen The Flypaper, it's probably the most disturbing. It's probably rated as the most disturbing Tales of the Unexpected, for a reason. All episodes due south on YouTube. Nice, Penguin. Joan Connor's nickname in Hollywood was the English Open. Make that what you will. I don't know. It's hearsay, isn't it, really? I mean, bless her, she's a bit of a legend. She has been around the block more than once. But it's to know that she still has the longevity, which is really good, because there's just something about a stay hard. You know? It's just somebody that won't ever just disappear. She's there all the time. She's dependable and reliable. She's created her own institution with her releases of perfumes over the years and stuff. No argument here, says the sheriff. Good on you, sheriff. Royal Jelly was the one. Royal Jelly, yes, that's a great one. Old school Royal Jelly. I don't want to show any clips in this stream. The last streams that I did 4 months ago on here, the last 4 were taken down. I had to take 2 of the 4 down, and the other 2 got partially banned. So as soon as I started clipping, and that was just a clip of Minder. You know, if I was to sing it, the theme tune of Minder, sing the theme tune, write the theme tune, probably wouldn't get me banned, but it wouldn't be the same, would it? I could be so good for you. But apparently that was copyrighted and gave me a partially blocked in the UK. So that was a bit annoying. So if I don't play any clips here, it's because you just take it up with YouTube and all the stupid copyrights. But I'd love to be able to play clips. This whole stream would be made up of clips and us, you know, reading and talking about the shows and stuff. But unfortunately, no. But it's nice to know they are on. Video Diva is here. Hello, Video Diva. Must have heard your name mentioned. Les Patterson's shout. She loved perfume. You wouldn't believe what she put behind her ears to attract men. Her ankles. Bum bum. Good one. Good one, old school. Biscuit. Oh, I want to say your username. Biscuith. Great name. Great name. The Landlady is a great episode too. The Landlady is Tales of the Unexpected. That's another good one. Yes, I'm one of those people. Biscuith. It's a great name. Plus, I actually like the Paisley. I think it's Paisley. It's on small on my screen. I think it's like a Paisley wallpaper from the 70s, which is really lavish and velvety and lovely. I type into Google top 10 episodes rated by ratings, and I don't normally do that for because I don't trust ratings, especially nowadays. But there's something about those old established shows that you know you're going to get some good examples from them. So I would do that for the Twilight Zone, and I would do that for the Outer Limits, and I would do that for those 2 American shows. And I would do that for certain shows that I don't want to invest, like, you know, a month long of watching. I just want to watch the best ones. It's a bit heathenistic, isn't it? It's a bit Alan Partridge. What's your favourite Beatles album, Alan? I think I will have to go with Best of the Beatles. But yeah, it's a bit like that. Hi, Richard. Old school Penguin. Paul, waving hand. and everyone. It's like the old days over here, isn't it? Video. It is like the old days. It feels like the old days. This won't be the last. This won't be. It won't be every week, as I've always said. A sporadic pop-up could happen at any time, and this is the sporadic pop-up. But there will be a special Christmas stream that I want to do over the Christmas period on this channel. So that will be published. You know, the schedule will be up, and I would like to probably do 1 or 2 streams over Christmas live on YouTube. That would be fun. Obviously we're going to have a Christmas. We are going to have this, people of Discord. We are going to have a Christmas watch party of 2 Christmas films in the month of December over on Discord, which is the Film Friday Fiesta. Friday Film Fiesta, even. We've watched a couple of films on there, and we've had a lot of fun doing so, and we've had some nice people in and chatting. But I haven't been able to do as much as I wanted to do this month, at least. So next month will be different. And I think Christmas movies, alternative Christmas movies, maybe. Films that just set at Christmas. It's not going to be Die Hard, put it that way. Or, I don't know, It's a Wonderful Life. You rule those out. It would be something a bit weird. The famous Viennese oyster. Like discotheque. Biscotheque. Yes! Biscotheque. Biscotheque. It's a great... Oh, hello. It's a great username. Biscotheque. Paisley Cathedral has an alien xenomorph gargoyle. Paisley. Where's Paisley? Is that Scotland? That's Scotland, isn't it? Sorry. If it comes to the UK, could talk about the weirdest little states and towns in America, but of course it's Paisley. Of course it's in Scotland, dickhead. Sorry to offend you there, if I've offended you there. Paisley. So it has an alien xenomorph gargoyle. Interesting. Where have I been up in Scotland? I want to explore Scotland more. I want a camper van. I'm going to get one at some point in the next couple of years. I'm going to get a camper van, an older one from the 90s, and I'm going to travel around. I'm going to see more of this damn country while we still have a country. Hopefully, introduction aside, we will still have a country. If not, I will be. I hear best thing to do is avoid Sheffield completely, because we've all seen what happens when something bad happens from another country, a bomb and stuff. Sheffield is the country. Apparently, if you could survive an entire nuclear attack in the UK, if you don't live in Sheffield, so you're fine there. I demand a Christmas stream on YouTube. Says Old School Christmas stream. Yes. One with bells and whistles. Old School fool. Yeah, so Jockland. Just because I once offended somebody from New Zealand by calling them a Kiwi. That's a thing. That's genuinely a thing. And I was like, oh, you're a typical Kiwi, aren't you? This is 20 years ago, before the whole world went PC and woke. This is 20 years ago. And I remember that guy's reaction was like, can you not call me a Kiwi? And I just remember, I said, I didn't mean any offence by it. I thought that's what like Australians getting called Aussies. I didn't. I'm so sorry if I've offended you. That's not. It's just a bit, And I always think that with Scotland. I always think it's like jocks. Not that I purposely go out to offend people, but I just don't know. There's some weird things out there that people get really. I continue to say Kiwis, by the way. Threads was shot in Sheffield. Correct. Yes, Sheffield. Did I say Sheffield? I think I was. I was hinting at at Threads. Shreds. I was hinting at Threads. Penguin. As I said, Sheffield didn't come across. It didn't come out of that very well. I think that was definitely not a positive in that movie. So yeah, if we're gonna have a nuclear war, don't everyone from Sheffield just leave, and we will have no fatalities. The rest of the country will be fine. Sheffield, though, just get out. Just get out of Sheffield. So I started this 51 minutes ago, and I just want to reiterate, thanks to everyone that's made this channel a success, and I do consider nearly 12,000 subscribers a success, and I do consider being quite grateful in thinking that there are people who find my content and they haven't seen this for half a decade or half a century in some cases. So it's wonderful to think that and some of the comments that I read every day keeps me wanting to do more. And bearing in mind, I do pay for most of this content that I upload myself. I've said it in the past. It's not cheap. It's not cheap. And I do it not for the numbers. In fact, as the numbers go up, I get increasingly worried my channel will be taken down. So it's not for the numbers. It's for the sheer love of being able to give people like yourselves the opportunity to watch things that the BBC and other broadcasting companies should be doing anyway. They should. They have all this stuff, and it's kind of in an archive and gathering dust. They should, with the amount of shite that we have on television, with the amount of channels and the capabilities that we have to show things, they should be showing them themselves. Not left to, somebody who buys them on a DVD-R from a couple of sources and uploads them to their YouTube channel. Richard English, glad to see you're following critical race theory. now, Druss, let's keep it. The whole. We've had streams like this in the past, like many of the ones that I've uploaded. I have made a few of those earlier streams private because they have incurred the wrath of freedom of speech. That's all I'll say. So I've made a few private. One was actually taken down a couple of months ago. I meant to say that in Discord. One of the streams, and it was a stream where we were particularly attacking progressive politics. So that's nice. That was nice. I think there's a lot of buzzwords in it. I did watch that stream back, and there was a lot of buzzwords. I think the word nonces came up quite a few times as well. I think somebody kept writing something about. I was reading the comments out, and so when you have the word nonce and then you have the word. Why am I doing it? Why would I dig myself my own grave? I'm not going to mention the keywords. Anyway, it was basically deleted. Go figure. I'm going to just get this deleted before it's even streamed. Old stuff we watched but we forgot about. Stuff we didn't see and show the young what they are missing. Thanks, Penguin. Thank you. Penguin Overlord, you've been very vocal tonight. I'm going to ask you to please come over to Discord. It's the Marmite thing, yes. If you're there already, Major Dolby's Cat Discord server. Please come over. We can chat more. Yes! Yes! They did a banana toffo. They did Coca-Cola toffos. There's limited edition banana and Coca-Cola toffos. It happened. I didn't dream it. And I'm glad. Yes! Old school. You've managed to get everyone talking about toffos. That's what I love about you. Pacer mints, anyone? No, Penguin. It's all about Pacer mints. That's familiar. But it's all about toffos. Nonsense. Biscuitech. Discord, please. Nonsense. Nonsense. Or nonsense. There were people during the whole 2020 to 2023, 22, 23 debacle that were using their own coded language. And I've often thought about sitting down, especially before a YouTube stream, a good couple of hours before, and slipping in coded language so as we could talk about these things. That would be a lot of old nonsense, because the algorithm will just pick up nonsense. It won't pick up nonsense. So that could be added to that vocabulary list that is growing more and more. I get more and more annoyed by the BBC day by day for various reasons, but the main one being having an amazing archive and doing nothing with it. It's criminal, Video Diva. It's criminal. It really is. And I've been lucky to have worked at the BBC. Not for very long. I only did 3 months. I didn't last very long. I was like an internship thing from university. There's a reason why I didn't last very long. I hated it. No, I didn't. No, I didn't hate it. I remember being in a lift with Jeremy Clarkson, and then I left. No, I didn't hate it, but I did get to go in their archive, and it is absolutely, unbelievably astounding. The experience to see all of that, not just bearing in mind television that they should release and make pay on demand, not just for television, just the sheer amount of audio recordings, radio recordings, music recordings, just to see, because they've combined their archive now with the National History Archive thing or whatever it is. So you have regional news things that, you know, from like Nationwide and all of these things that went out in the 50s and 60s, regional programming, all of that's in there as well, and there's some great stuff in there, as you can imagine. And it's a travesty. It's a travesty that it's all been digitalized. It's not like this stuff is on, like, you know, celluloid. It's not like it's on you know, a flammable film. This stuff is been digitalized, and I was one of the people that was digitalizing a few things back in the day, or was training in that area. I didn't take anything. Just want to make that clear, because we got to go back to 2003, 2004, and it's all ready. It's all there. It's all there. Huge hard drives filled with things restored. You know, just, and it's such. I agree with you. Totally. It's a travesty that it isn't made available, and they sit on it like the golden eggs. Do you think there's a chance that any of the Lost Public Eye episodes will ever come to light again? There's always a chance, Ray, that people I still hold out that people still find things from ex-BBC employees that have worked there, you know, 30, 40, 50 years, and have archived stuff themselves or taken things themselves and put it in their attic, you know, and they may have, you know, been kicked out by the BBC and thought, well, I'm taking that with me, you know, things like that. There's always a chance certain things will be found again. Not everything. A lot of it's been lost. Let's face it. I don't want to give false hope, but a lot of it's been lost or re-recorded over. We know what they did. The heathens at the BBC. And, I mean, you know, just horrendous what you think that they've just recorded over. I mean, my dad recorded over many things that I used to keep all my recordings, and sometimes I'd be watching it and it would suddenly go into Gladiators, and I'd end up like saying, oh no, what you've done, you've recorded over my, you know, long lost film. Or there's something that I recorded years ago called Beer and Skittles from 1984. I was obsessed with this. It was a 10-minute cartoon that made me feel really queasy. Really queasy. It was on Channel 4 when it first started, Channel 4, when it was good, at 10 o'clock at night, and it was a 10-minute series of animations called Beer and Skittles. There's one on YouTube, and I remember having at least 8 or 9 episodes of Beer and Skittles from about 1984-85, it was, on Channel 4. And Dad went over it with one of the shows that he used to love watching, bless his cotton socks, bless you, Dad, was One Man and His Dog. But to a 10-year-old who had that on a Scotch E180 cassette for 2 or 3 years, to come to that cassette, they used to say my cassette on there as well. Used to say my cassette. It wasn't, I mean, they bought it for me and my parents, but. And putting that in and getting ready to show my mate Beer and Skittles and having come on, yeah boy, whip. Needless to say, I did forgive him in about 1986. Spangles, Druss, yes, Spangles, love Spangles. Also watch their news from the 80s compared to today, awful. Sensationalist today, isn't it? Video, all sensationalist, all about viewing figures. Post the link then to Discord. I will, Penguin, I will put a link to Discord once this stream has completed, which will be not too far into the future, because it's going to be an hour and a half roughly. I will link it in the video, so I'd really appreciate that if you pop over, Penguin. Toffos, never heard of them. Oh, the Toffo thing, isn't it? It never gets old. White with green stripes. Chewy, yes, I remember. What was it? They were Spangles. Was it spearmint? Were they spearmint? Polari, hola, Otari, oh la la la. Phil Collins. What? Legally TV license free since 2007, and I bet you've never looked back, have you, Penguin? Bonner my dolly, old eek. But Bonner Tavada, your dolly, old ek. What? I don't know what people were talking about. Did Toffos it? But that can happen when I'm not doing a live stream, when I'm in public. So, did Toffos do a butterscotch flavour? Genuine question, I can't remember. I don't remember butterscotch flavour. I'm sure they did banana and a Coca-Cola flavour. I'm genuinely sure, Druss. All this round the horn talk is giving me the yawn. I recently found Bob Mortimer's call-ins. A friend of mine posted a on WhatsApp a link to Bob Mortimer's call-in. It was about the fast runner. It's really good, and it reminded me of Sven from Swiss Cottage. And I listened to Sven from Swiss Cottage, all 7 episodes of that, probably every single time around Christmas. And I like to think that Peter Cook is still with us. But it's the Bob Mortimer one is brilliant as well, and it had me in hysterics. And I think my mate had never heard of the Sven from Swiss Cottage, so I've sent him a link to that. So hopefully he enjoys that, because that's got melancholy and happiness, and there's things within those where you really genuinely hear sort of the melancholy of Cook as you know, as he was phoning in, and it's sweet, it's subtle, and biting and funny, and it's just brilliant. If you've not listened to Sven from Swiss Cottage, check that out. I love Peter Cook, so I listen to certain things Peter Cook every single year. Angel Delight, Blancmange. Round the Horn is effing hilarious. Need to listen to more of that. There's no excuse for hiding their archive, because, as you say, it's digitalised, so it's so much easier to make available. BFI is the same, although they might be restricted because of copyright, but not BBC. Correct. It is all digitalised. That's what makes it criminal. All they're doing is I think what they're doing is that they make money selling the same thing like 5-6 times, okay? Now, the BBC have basically charged a licence fee for since God knows how long. So it's paid for by the public broadcasting corporation. You know, it's a public thing. So we pay for their existence. If we didn't pay for their existence, then, you know. So we've paid for the shows. And for them, if at the very least, for them to hoard their back catalogue, simply only to be able to make money twice or 3 times or 4 times over the content that they sell to other companies like Amazon Prime or blah, blah, blah. You know, the Faulty Towers just keeps making the money. It's just a ticket to keep making money. And yet, why do we have to pay for it? It was our money that put it out there in the first place. So we should at least get a share of it. And we're not talking about, let's give all the license fee payers some money back every time we make a couple of million on selling Netflix, Faulty Towers to Netflix. Let's give the public 5% back. I'm Don't want that. Just give us the ability to watch some of this stuff again and not charge us for it. I mean, we paid for this stuff the first time round. Well, I didn't, but my grandparents did, and my dad did, and my mum did. That's how dislocated my memory is. The Lionel Blair bits on Round the Horn still make me... Give me the horn. First film ever shown on Channel 4 is... Patang Yang Kippa Bang. I know one of their first films that they ever got funded on Channel 4, like through, I think Handmade Films was something to do with Channel 4, which is obviously George Harrison's company. Handmade Films. There was a film called Restless Natives, which I always loved, and I still do to this day. Restless Natives. That's keep Penguin Overlord. That keeps it in Scotland because that's a Scottish film. Restless Natives, classic British film from the 80s, and funded by the Channel 4 and Handmade Films, I believe. That was Jack Rosenthal. Richard's a big fan of Jack Rosenthal, and I keep saying I need to get to see more. To see more. Bronx Bunny Show, says Ray. Bronx Bunny Show. Pay some mints, you fool. Pay some mints. Oh yes, John, good catch. Can you still buy Frazzles? Yes, Biscuitech, you can still buy Frazzles, and they are amazing. Where have you not seen them? Are you formerly in the UK but now elsewhere? Frazzles are still around. Smiths are still around. They produce Frazzles. Smiths, they're also Smith Squares. They are still around, and they still, I'm glad to say, have the original Smiths logo. Do you remember the logo for Smith's Crisps? It has to be Smith's Crisps. It has to be Smith's Crisps. I don't know. I think it was Smith's Crisps. Frazzles are still around. I buy them every so often. Smiths also still make scampi fries. And who doesn't love scampi fries? I bloody love scampi fries. The only thing that annoys me about scampi fries is that they come in a bag of 6 with with another flavour. The bacon ones, which aren't Frazzles. The bacon bites or whatever they call them. They're not very nice. They taste like burned oak wood. But bacon fries, I think they're called bacon fries. Scampi fries and bacon. Just put scampi fries, 6 packets, into the bag of it's scampi fries multi-pack. Don't give me your bacon fries. If I want to eat bacon fries, I'll eat Frazzles, which are better than bacon fries. So that company need to learn. Very funny, MDs, and that's my rant about Frazzles over there. Thanks for bringing that up. Frazzles and scampi fries. Yes, where he's running, Druss. He's a fast runner. He's a fast runner. just watch the Bob Mortimer. It's all out there. I think it's Ian. It was on a chat. I hadn't heard of him before. Some DJ. Ian. It's his channel. He's released them in the last 3 days. He's put them all together. All of the Bob Mortimer stuff. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, he includes the video truss on that, which was hysterical. We live just around the corner from the Dudley Moore, and Anna Karen Olive from the... I love Anna Karen. In fact, Anna Karen should have been up here. The picture of Anna Karen should have been up here. I've got a little screen thing, but I couldn't get it to work because technicalities aside. Poor Anna Karen, awful end. What do you mean awful end? We're talking about old school. You're not talking about Anna Karina, are you? Where's my thing on? There it is. Alan Hargreaves, voice of reason. I'm glad you're here, Alan. Alan, you are one of the people that lost touch with very frustratingly because I haven't been doing as many YouTube streams. So I appreciate that you're here now, Alan. And if you've only just got here, I'd suggest watching the whole stream back because I do address things like that. But I really appreciate you being here, mate. Alan! Yo, homies. Yo, homies. Yes, you can get frazzles. I bought 5 big bags for £1 from a man on the market. I was even more surprised when they were still in date. Bonus. Oh, nothing like an out-of-date frazzle video diva, is there? To really put your palate off. Yeah, just dry. Chewy. Barrett Holmes, Sherlock's long-lost brother. Angela Rippon's legs on Morecambe and Wise. See, I never got the Angela Rippon thing. Sorry, Penguin Overlord. I don't think I'm quite mature enough to see the attraction to. And I love long legs. I've said it many times before. I'm tall myself, so when I see a lady who's tall, ironically, everyone I've ever been out with has been under 5'6". That's always the way. Always the way. Unless you live in Slovakia, which I found out where all tall guys like me all have tall women that are 6'2". And I think, well, if that's where all the tall women are, why don't I move to Slovakia? Not that I think height is a thing, you see. As I said, I'm not really. I'm the petite person. I like people that are petite, especially the female, the opposite sex, petite. I've always gone for petite. Nearest and dearest. Ellie and Nelly pledge. Scampi flavoured fries and cheese moments. Cheese moments. Is that those little horns? Talk about getting the horn again. Those little horns that are stuffed with cheese. Do you remember them? Does anyone remember them? They were like little. You had a small bag. Cheese moments. Were they those where they had like a powdered cheese, salty powdered cheese in this little horns? I don't remember those crisps. I don't think cheese moments are the same, but chipsticks. Oh, salt vinegar chipsticks. Love them. Well, I haven't had them for many years, but I did used to love them. A bit salty for me. Scampi fries are great. Who'd have thought lemon flavoured crisps would be enjoyable? Oh, I absolutely adore Scampi fries. A mate of mine, Julian, who helped me move the boat, I'll always remember this because I said he bought a drink in a pub. We're in the middle of nowhere, as we are most of the time when you're on the canal, in the middle of nowhere in a pub. And he said, I get you a drink. And I said, yeah, all right, well, you get the drinks in, I'll get you the snacks. What do you fancy? And I said, pork scratchings, because I've got this thing for pork scratchings. Hence why my teeth are so bad, broken, shattered. I've stopped eating them so much. As soon as I got near 50, I was like, that's it, I'm going to stop eating. So I stopped eating pork scratchings. But anyway, I saw Scampi fries because I think he said peanuts was originally. Thought I was coming back with some peanuts, and I came back with some Scampi fries. And he hadn't had them for years. And then suddenly he was addicted to Scampi fries. He forgot how good they were. So good on you, Julian. I hope you're still eating your Scampi fries. They just taste like burnt wood, Video Diva. If their flavour's just not like Frazzles has got a bacon flavour. Bacon fries just taste like burnt oak cedar wood. I don't like them, but yes, they are crunchy. But again, I don't. No. Ian Lee, thank you, Druss. Ian Lee, he was funny as well. He's very funny as well because you see his reaction to the phone call. Yeah, it's on his channel, Ian Lee. Check it out if you haven't seen it. What are you wearing today? Oh, you're wearing that, are you? I will watch it back, Major. Much love, homeboys. Much love, Alan. Much love, Alan. I never fancied Andrew Rippon neither. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the attraction was, but then there are sometimes like people that you wouldn't necessarily like. I remember seeing a very early episode of That's Life with Esther Ranson, and I only recently saw it probably a year ago. It was from like 1976, and I remember thinking, "Holy shit, Esther Ranson was quite a looker." Esther Ranson. That's not the Esther Ranson I grew up with. Heaven forbid. Oh, we always get onto like attractive people from yesterday. from yesterday. That's what happens on here, mate. We inevitably end up talking about food, Penguin. I'm apologies for that. Richard is teetotal. If you're talking about Richard English, oh, everyone here, if you could just get write or get the little applause emoji for Richard. He gave up smoking and he's doing really well, and he only vaped for a while as well. He only vaped for like a week or something. Give him a little applause. Give him some thumbs up. Give Richard English some love because he's managed to kick the habit. I don't know about alcohol. I don't think he was doing the alcohol. Team Pringles, sour cream all day. Oh, there you go. 1 month without cigs. 1 whole month, everybody. Richard has gone 1 month without cigarettes. Think about what's going on in the world. Looks like I picked the wrong week to give up sniffing glue. You must be gasping for one. No, Richard, don't you go back. Video diva, clapping hands, Richard, clapping hands, mate, clapping hands. I couldn't do it. I was saying to Richard the other day that I couldn't do it. I would really have a problem. I mean, I still roll a cigarette and I have 3 or 4 of these every day, and they're never far from me. But I do vape for the rest of the day, and I try to reduce the amount of vape as well now. Like I don't carry the bottle around with me when I go out. It runs out. I eke it out a bit much, a bit more than I used to, which is good. Esther Anson, I'm starting to worry. It was 1976, Ray. It was just that decade. It's the clothes. It was the outrageous fashions that she used to wear. I don't know what it was. It was something. But it's Esther Ranson. Still in the back of my head, it's like, it's Esther Ranson. But none of them was Jan. There's Jan. There she is. Prime Jan, everybody. Prime Jan. Oh yeah, there's a crack in it. See it's kind of out now. There's a crack in the glass because I dropped it. It's in see, there's the crack. Oh, there you go. There's the crack in it now. You see. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to replace the glass. She's got to stay in the diamond encrusted frame though. She has to stay in that, but I dropped it annoyingly, and that was annoying. It really was annoying that I dropped that. That frame had been with me for a long time, ever since I used to be at my grandmother's. I just something about sentimentality. Something about being sentimental over things from my family, and I kept thinking my fingerprints were on that glass of that frame when it used to be our cat in there. Ironically, it was our cat Tibbs. Sergeant Tibbs used to be in there. She's kind of Sergeant Tibby like, isn't she? But Sergeant Tibbs used to be in there growing up, and I remember, like, you know, my fingerprints were on this glass, and I just don't want to have to just get new glass, because I don't know, it's sad, isn't it? Sad what your mind does to you, but it's staying there anyway. It's got Jan in it now, so yes, God bless you, Jan Francis, may you live forever. It was my birthday yesterday. Bollocks, Richard. Do you know, you told me as well. I told me when we did a stream on Discord, you told me that, and I said I'd send you a birthday thing. But then you were like, oh, it's not a big one, it's not a major one. So I think you played it down a bit, but even so, I apologise, I missed it. I would have put something out. £39.40 for 50 golden. Do you know what I smoke? Is that how much it is? 50 grams. So I only buy it in 25, and it lasts me a month. I buy Pueblo. I've been buying Pueblo ever since, well, 4 years ago. I tried this thing called American Spirit. It's supposed to be a better, cleaner smoke. And because I'd cut out tobacco generally and had gone on to vape, I thought, well, if I get one that's got a cleaner, less chemicals, So I used to buy this thing called American Spirit. I think it was American Spirit Blue. And then somebody said, oh, don't spend £25 on 25 grams of that. You can get a thing called Pablo, which is, they're all made by the Native Americans. And yeah, Pablo Classic. That's what I roll now. They have less chemicals in it, and a pouch 25 grams lasts me a month. So we're not talking about being a huge smoker, but I do like one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening after food or coffee. Coffee and cigarettes are like just wonderful things. Just wonderful things. A bit like David Lynch would talk about the way he used to like, it's lighting up something, watching it burn. Thank you, Alan. Esther was hot, wasn't she? So she was hot. And I'm not saying that Angela Rippon didn't have nice legs, but I have seen that. Susan Stranks is on this channel, but I had to hide the video, Druss. What was the TV show that she did before Blue Peter? Magpie. There's a I think network Blu-ray, actually, network DVD. There was an extra outtakes, and I posted it, and it got flanked, so I had to. I think I removed it from my channel, but she was beautiful. Jokes aside, kudos though, Rich. Kudos, totally. Happy birthday for yesterday, party popper. I love that this thing just comes up with the word party popper. It can't do emojis. I love that. I've said that many times. Richard, mine was hard yesterday too. Sally James. Sally James is another one that I did a thing a while back on the live streams, Penguin. I did a thing which was about Saturday morning television, and I think my theory on Sally James is that Saturday morning television, Tiswas, the anarchic television of Saturday mornings, and it wasn't just Tiswas. You had, Going Live in my time, or Swap Shop a little bit earlier. You have Gordon the Gopher, and all these kind of things, manic, anarchic kind of environment. And I just happen to think a bit like, my God, what was her name? Blue Peter, Sarah. Oh, have I forgotten her name? She did Most Haunted. Is it Most Haunted? Sarah. Oh, Sarah Green. Sally James and Sarah Green, I put them in the same category of fit for the adults of their time. Like, if it wasn't for Sarah Green, and Sally James, parents wouldn't have stayed and watched their kids watching Tiswas and Saturday Superstore and Going Live as long as they did. They never quite appealed to me as a child, but then again, I was playing with Transformers and Masters of the Universe figures, so I wasn't really looking at Sally James or Sarah Green. But I think that they were there as a sort of, let's give the adults something to look at. We're talking about fags now. Look at that, fags. 40 quid for 50 grams of Golden Virginia now. Ridiculous. I suppose that would be, if I was to buy Pablo tobacco or American Spirit, I'd suppose that would be 50 grams would be that price. But I'm paying about £25 now for 25 grams, so it's £1 a gram. It's almost up to the 80s. It's almost like Gordon Gekko of the 80s in Wall Street and how much it costs for cocaine. It's gonna be more per gram than it will be to do coke in the future. Giving up sentimentality for New Year's resolution. Oh well, I hope that doesn't stop you from coming here, Alan, because this is our stream. This is the sentimental stream. Giving up sentimentality. Oh, what a weird thing. I'm giving up nostalgia. I'm done with nostalgia. I'm gonna take a leave from this nostalgia. The past has lost its effect on me. 50 grams lasts me 1 week. Good God, mate, you smoke a lot. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot. Oh God, I don't know whether I could smoke that much now. If I tried, it makes me a bit sick after Sometimes when I have that one in the morning with the coffee, that's the best one. If I could cut down, I would cut out the lunch one first and still have one with my evening food after my evening food with a coffee. But there's just something. If I wanted to stop completely, or just have one cigarette a day, one rollie a day, I would have a rollie when I wake up with a cup of coffee. That's when I would have it. Smack the weight loss would do me no good. Yeah, and my weight loss, mate. I didn't lose half as much as I thought I would. Living on the cut for 4 years and doing 4 months on the cut. Doing locks and, well, not many locks, I must admit, but, mooring up and walking the towpath in the summer months, miles on end to get to a supermarket. Bloody still fat. Still fat. 'Tis was status quo, smoked a joint in the cage. Did they really? Sarah Green, thank you. Parents my ass, dads watch them. Yes, that's yeah, okay. I'm with you. I don't think many of the mothers would have sat down and said, "Cool, Sarah Green, she's a bit of all right, isn't she?" Some might have in marriages that they were unhappy in. Who knows? How much is a good quality rough shag these days? Says Ray. Much more than it used to be, by the sound of things. Shag. That used to be on, what was drum tobacco? And I always remember seeing the word shag on drum tobacco whenever you went to Amsterdam, and I've been a few times. Always remember that was the first time I saw it. I'd never associated shag with tobacco before. Could never really get into them. The quo. His son's doing well, I believe. I believe his son's doing really well. Is it Rick Parfitt's son? Something like that. The female companions in Doctor Who were referred to as something for the dads. Okay. Yeah. Although Ace, because that was that was the first Doctor, and it's a shit Doctor. Well, compared to today's, it's a masterpiece. It's Sylvester McCoy. Used to have Ace, Sophie Atherton. She wasn't just for the dads. She was for my teenage ass. Oh no, that's terrible to say. Take that back. I want to die wearing an old army boot on my head. And maybe you will get that wish one day, Penguin. Maybe I need 4 rollies to jumpstart me. I need to get my heart started. Wasn't that a Jason Statham movie? Wasn't there a Jason? Was it Crank 2? Is it Crank 2 with Jason Statham? I think he's got to like his heart stops every so often and he has to like kickstart it. I don't know whether he does that though. I'm not sure he does that. Aldred, Sophie Aldred, Sheriff Brackett. Thank you for that. Yeah, Sophie Aldred. Sophie, I know where Atherton came from. Aldred. Yeah, she was nice. I remember I used to get the Smash Hits TV music magazine, which I don't think even goes anymore, if anyone remembers Smash Hits from the 80s. I used to get Smash Hits, and I remember I cut a lot of things out of Smash Hits. They went into like a bit like Jan's in there now. They went into frames, and Sophie was definitely in one of my frames by the side of the bed when I go to sleep. I remember being really, and it wasn't to do with the sex thing. It was like I was quite naive. I used to be really romantic as a kid. I would like kiss Sophie Aldred on the glass of that frame before I went to bed. I didn't have a girlfriend until quite later, so they don't have that effect on me anymore though. Girls from ABBA and Susan is it Sarandon or Sarandon? Sarandon. Susan Sarandon. I never know how to say her surname. Sarandon. I always say Susan Sarandon. I love her in a Rocky Horror Picture Show. Very attractive lady, and kind of attractive in some other sort of films that she did in the early 80s. But then when it gets to like Thelma and Louise, it's quite hard to see a sex symbol in there anymore. Something different there. The sophisticated lady, no doubt. Sex symbol, no. I liked Ace. Julia Sawala. She turned up in Benidorm. Judith Chalmers was fit as a butcher's dog. Jesus. I had a weird thing for Rita Fairclough as a kid. Jesus Christ. This is turning into a therapy session. You have said too much. I thought she was called Ace because Ace in the hole. Rita Fairclough. Right, before this descends into total and utter chaos, which it clearly has, Rita Fairclough fantasies aside, I do remember, my nan was a huge Coronation Street fan, so I have a picture of Rita Fairclough in my head and just can't quite see the... Mavis. What about Mavis? Does she get a look in as well? Old school. Right. I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it. It was an hour and a half. It intended to be about an hour and a half. I don't have an outro, unfortunately, Richard. But the war game would have been a good if I had have managed to do it. It took me about an hour and a half to put together the intro. So I enjoyed that. I didn't really want to talk about politics, but let's hope that we're all here over Christmas. That's all I can say. Let's hope that we're all here. Let's hope that it's all this trouble in the world that's going on. It stays a long way from me. We do have a down the rabbit hole section of Discord, which I do visit and I enjoy visiting from what people are posting and stuff. And there's some really interesting topics that come up in there. For people that are sort of, I don't want to say red-pilled, blue-pilled and all that shite, but if you're, listening and watching the same sort of stuff, then you will get something from it. And even if you're not, then you might learn something from it. But generally speaking, Discord is a politics, sort of light on politics and more on the love and of that we all share, which is why we're on this channel in the first place for archive television. So I'm hoping that some people will come across. I will post a link to the Discord server in the description of this video once the stream ends. For all those people who can't come over to Discord, for whatever reasons I've mentioned at the start of this video, then this is a return of sorts to YouTube. It won't be a weekly thing. It won't be every Saturday. It may be a sporadic week in the middle of the week sort of thing, like a Wednesday or a Thursday more than a Saturday. But I do intend on doing a couple of streams live on this channel on YouTube over Christmas themed, as Old School Fool says. We're expecting the full bells and whistles and me dressed as a big fat Santa. Might not get the Santa, but you'll probably get the rest of the bells and whistles. So, yes, I just say that this isn't just a promotion for Discord, but if you can and you are able, do come over there and say hello and introduce yourself. And if not, please carry on enjoying this channel because I still enjoy uploading the content to it. And I thank you all again for being such supporters of this. Take Three Girls. There is another episode. That dear old Lisa Goddard has not uploaded to her channel. I won't be uploading those because all the ones that I have like 7 episodes and 5 of those that Lisa had already uploaded to her channel. But the Bob Monkhouse one, wasn't he great? Wasn't Bob Monkhouse great? He's just an all-right... people know that I love Bob Monkhouse. He was the greatest of the light entertainers. We've never had anyone like that. Terry Wogan would be in there somewhere as well. Bruce Forsyth. Everyone generally went over with Bruce Forsyth. I was always more of a Bob Monkhouse than a Bruce Forsyth. I kind of got Brucey. I loved, the stuff he did in the 80s. But it was always Bob Monkhouse. Always. I used to love watching reruns of Family Fortunes with Bob Monkhouse. I quite like some of the Les Dennis ones as well. Didn't go much on the Max Bygraves ones, but Bob Monkhouse in that Take Three Girls. Somebody asked, do you have any more? I'd love to see more. And yes, there's one more episode which will be probably released this week. And then there is a special festive season beginning on Major Dolby's Cat with some stuff that I was going to show in Discord for the Friday Film Fiesta, but I feel that I think I can get away with. One of them's been flagged up. One of them will not let me upload it, so that one may have to be reserved for the Discord server. But the other festive themed show will be going out throughout December. So please stay tuned for that. I won't tell you what it is, but it's very festive. It's quite rare as well. I'm quite excited by it. Let's just wrap up your comments. Susan Sarandon was hot in Joe and Peter Boyle movie. Okay, Sheriff Brackett. She is. I like her. She's definitely got a beauty thing going on. Had a bit of a girl crush on Ace. Swala. Gabriella Anwar, video diva. Gabriella Anwar, in Press Gang. She was in the later episodes, and she also turned up in that awful Al Pacino movie, Scent of a Woman. Very attractive British girl. She was my big crush in Press Gang. Probably because they were good looking, cool, and sassy, and I wasn't. But you are video diva, and you know you are. You are that sassy. You're more sassier than they were then. Peter Boyle. He'll be banging out to Noel Gordon next. Oh, still thinking of Rita Fairclough references. Mrs. Walker. Is that Annie Walker? I remember Annie Walker. Just stop it, old school fool. Yes, Annie Walker. No. To be fair to you, old school boy, I've been watching Corrie 73, and Rita's just appeared, and she was good looking in the day. Yes, both the good movies. Jingle Bells and Whistles stream. Jingle Bells and Whistles, correct. I hate Christmas themed things. Richard, you won't hate this. Well, you might actually. Sorry, mate. You might hate it. Quaker's Fortune is good too. Morecambe and Wise, 12 Days of Christmas. I'm going to try, bro, but it says try again later. Oh, that's the old. Have another go, Alan. I'll put a link out to it and see whether we can get through on this one. Lisa Goddard, didn't she used to bash Alvin Stardust about? No, not Lisa Goddard. She's got an angel face. She can't be. She's not a euphemism. Generation game. Fucking hilarious at times. Yeah, agreed. Video Diva. He could see what was going on at the BBC. So yes, no, the BBC didn't agree with what he was doing. He knew what they were doing. I think the minute he saw things being recorded over, he would make copies himself. Ironically, though, I believe I read when he passed in, what was it, 2003, I think, 2004, when Bob Monkhouse died, they took that back. They took his archive back. Or he gave it back to the BBC or something. So the Monkhouse archive, which was huge, they now have it back all now. So it's a shame, really, that he didn't give it to an outside company that, Ruda Lenska. Oh my God, she used to scare me. Steptoe and Son Christmas episode, classic episodes. Steptoe and Son come out every Christmas for me. Enoch's dreaming of a white Christmas. Ina Sharples. Right, and on that bombshell, before we start naming every single character from Coronation Street from the past that was shaggable, I'm probably going to call it. Thanks to everyone for... I'm going to stop the comments going to stop the comments. Thanks to everyone. Again, I will say it again. Thanks for being here. It's been a really nice catch-up stream. Lovely to see some of the names of people. Paul, Alan. I'm trying to think of the ones that contacted me. Who else was there? Somebody else. I don't know. There's 3 people there that I've really missed talking to. So I appreciate you dropping in. And for all those new ones that I haven't spoke to before, I'm pretty sure I haven't spoke to Penguin Overlord before. Sheriff Brackett, nice to have you in here from the US, keeping the US side, keeping it propped up. Appreciate that. I'm glad that things are looking a little bit more up in your country in terms of, shall we just say, some of the craziness that's gone on in the last 10, 15 years. Obviously, there's a certain thing called war impending and all that stuff. But generally speaking, I think I really do like, out of the new administration that you have over there, I really do like Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr. Just put it out there that I do like those 2 people. I think that they have big plans. I think that whether they actually get to implement any of their plans, it will be a bloody miracle. But I do think that those 2 are the best of the bunch. But yeah, what a wonderful stream. Thanks to everyone. I'm going to stop hitting my straw into my glass. And I will see you, hopefully, on the next YouTube stream, which is going to be in a couple of weeks, something like that. A bit closer to the festive time. So thanks to everyone, and I will catch you very, very shortly. Let's see whether I can see whether my outro is still here. End stream, ending the stream. Thanks for watching. All those new people out there, thanks for your support and continued support of this channel.